Welcome back. You're still tuned into Market Fatafat, and this is a show where we discuss all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. But before we do that, let's put the spotlight on primary markets. Sharan Linane, independent SEBI research analyst, discusses the potential Aris Infra Solutions IPO. He talks about the company's business model and also flags the key risks associated with the company's public offering. Listen into what he had to say.
Company is just a broker between a distributor and a builder or an infra company. So it will never have any kind of pricing power going ahead because the prices are decided by the distributor, and the builders and the infra company more or less know the prices that are going around. So it will never have any pricing power. Again, cash flows negative throughout the last 3 years because the margins are razor thin, negative to 1%. Even I checked their competitors' balance sheet, being at least like 5 to 10 times larger than Aris Infra, they do an average margin of just 2%. So it shows this whole tech-enabled platform or being a broker doesn't have any pricing power. So you will never ever see PAT margins going about 2.5%. So very razor thin margins, a very big negative. Because of this margin, they will never be able to generate any kind of cash that they can use for future expansion. Again, working capital is a big issue. When they sell, they give credit around 100 to 120 days. But when they buy, they have to make payments in 60 to 70 days. So this gap will create a lot of working capital issues for the company. Overall, it's called a tech-enabled platform, but it does nothing. It just brokers a deal between two players.
All right, that's the latest coming from the primary markets. But now moving on, we are joined by Sachin Gupta, who's a senior technical analyst at 5paisa Capital. Sachin, now welcome to the show. Now you've picked out CAMS for us. The stock has seen, an upside of about 5% in the month gone by. So do you see a further upside coming on this one?
Yeah, very good afternoon and thanks for having me today. Well, if we talk about the game, so in the recent time frame, the stock has taken a good support at around 200 days of exponential moving averages, which is a long-term key moving average support levels that often signals a fresh buying interest. Moreover, this bounce back is also aligned with the 38.2% Fibonacci retracements level, suggesting the recent dip suggesting that the recent dip was just a healthy correction, not a trend reversal. And based on that parameters, like I'm expecting some upside momentum in the games. On the higher side, 4300, 4400 could be the next target in this.
All right, that's the words coming in on CAMS. But moving on, as I mentioned earlier, Maruti Suzuki is also in focus. Obviously it is... we are picking up from sources that it has cut its production target for e-Vitara. But other than that, the company also launched a dedicated railway siding at its Manesar plant in Haryana, a move that is aimed at cutting down fossil fuel use and also easing road congestion. Now, this green logistics initiative is aligned with India's net zero emissions target, of course. Now, the project is expected to significantly going to boost Maruti's supply chain efficiency while also reducing its carbon footprint. On the back of these two developments, the stock is trading in green, but in an otherwise negative trend, but around the flattish levels.
That's the news flow surrounding Maruti Suzuki, but we also caught up with Maruti Suzuki's Senior Executive Officer of Corporate Affairs, Rahul Bharti, and got his views on how the auto major is managing the rare earth mineral crisis. Listen into what he had to say.
We will be making our first EV in the country, and we'll be exporting it to 100 countries of the world, including Europe and Japan, in addition to India, our domestic market. And it's the first time that a mainstream volume of EVs will be exported out of India. So that will be a historic moment for India. We are aware of the rare earth issue. We are handling that crisis. So in case there is any material impact to our business, we'll come back to our stakeholders.
That's the word coming in from the management of Maruti Suzuki. But let's also put the spotlight on Godrej Properties. This one is in focus on the back of an update the company has informed the exchanges about. The company has acquired 16-acre land parcel in Pune, and the estimated revenue potential of this particular land parcel stands at about 3,100 crores. The development on this land will primarily comprise premium group housing and high street retail. And the company also said that it has a development potential of about 2.5 million square feet with a revenue potential of 3,100 crores. So on the back of this news piece, the stock is holding up with gains of nearly 0.6% in trade today. But let's also put the spotlight on Oberoi Realty then. Let's keep it going with the real estate sector. Sachin, tell us, what is your news flow on Oberoi Realty?
So if we focus on the overall realty sectors, all these stocks have been performing very well. We talk about the Oberoi Realty specifically. So on the daily chart, stock has been hovering above the 50% of Fibonacci retracement, which continue act as an immediate support levels. While if we talk about the daily chart, so stock prices have been trading into the higher top, higher bottom formations, which is again a classical indications of an ongoing uptrend. So based on these technical parameters, we anticipate continued bullish momentum in the Oberoi Realty. So those who are holding any positions in the stock can interact with the positions with the strict stop loss of 1830. On the higher side, I'm expecting 2100, 2200 as a target.
Okay, so 2,200, 2,300, those are the kind of levels that we could see on for this particular real estate company. But shifting focus to Navin Fluorine then, and the stock is holding up in trade on the back of a report that Jefferies has come out with, where they are retaining their buy stance on the stock with a target price of 5,280 rupees per share. They say that the company is well positioned to monetize the 2,000 crore capex that the company has announced, and it has commissioned over the last 3 odd years. In fact, Jefferies expects the company to report 35% EPS CAGR over the period FY25 to 27. They say despite the recent run-up the stock has given, remember the stock has underperformed Nifty by nearly 23% since January 2023, and they expect the stock to run up going forward. They also say that the pipeline of new contracts in specialty chemical, CDMO and HPP should fructify in FY26, and this should provide growth visibility for the company FY28 onwards. So on the back of this report that Jefferies has come out with, they are maintaining their buy stance. 5,280 rupees per share is the target. The stock is holding up with gains of nearly 3% in trade.
All right, the stock holding up gains of nearly 3%. But coming to you now, Rabinder, ICICI Bank is the stock that you've picked out for us. It's sitting with cuts of about 0.5%. What's the news flow like?
Well, yes, ICICI Bank is in focus, where RBI has approved the appointment of Sandeep Batra as the executive director for the company. So back of this, ICICI Bank in focus, and the stock is not reacting positively, and stock is down 0.5%.
Okay, so ICICI Bank sitting with a cut of nearly 0.5% in today's trading session. We need to slip into a very short break on that note, but we'll discuss many more stocks on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Market Fatafat with me, Kanishka and Ashesha, a show where we are discussing all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today, either on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. So let's get going then. Let's first talk about Sterlite Tech then, which is doubling down on expanding AI-driven data center market, both in India and globally. The stock is in focus for the second straight day, as the company did announce the launch of a new generation of an end-to-end of data center solutions portfolio, from advanced cabling to full-stack connectivity offerings. Now, the firm is targeting a $1 billion opportunity globally and expects the enterprise and data center segment to contribute 25% to its revenue in the current fiscal. Sterlite is also expecting the global data center market to reach $517 billion by 2030, growing at a compounded annual growth rate of 10.5% during this period. Now, hence a second day of gains coming in for this company, with 13% of gains today at this point in time.
The stock is up a whopping 13% in today's trading session. We discussed a whole host of IT stocks, but Wipro, this one is on Sachin's radar this afternoon. Sachin, tell us why you picked up this counter for us.
So on the daily chart, the stock has continued its momentum since last week, moving over 50 days of exponential moving averages and immediate resistance of 258. This indicates a sustained strength in the near term. Hence, I believe this momentum or this upside may extend further for the near term. On the higher side, 278, 280 could be the next target for this stock.
280, those are the targets that we could see for this particular counter. But shifting focus to the metal sector then, Hindustan Zinc a big announcement that came in just an hour ago, and the stock is already reacting to that. In fact, Hindustan Zinc is down nearly 4% after the board of directors approved about 12,000 crores of capex for the next few years. The board said that it will be setting up 250 KT integrated zinc metal complex at Debari and associated mining and mining capacities. The company also said that this will entail a total capex of about 12,000 crores as a part of company's capex plans. Apart from this, Antique also came out with a report this morning where they said that silver continues to trade at record high levels, multi-year high levels, and that could support earnings for company going forward. So on the back of both these news pieces, but most importantly the capex plan, and remember this announcement came in at about 115 today, and after that we are seeing that sharp decline in the stock. The stock is sitting with a cut of over 5% as we speak.
The latest coming in on Hindustan Zinc. But moving on, coming to you, Rabinder, you've picked out IIFL Finance for us. What's the news flow here?
Well, as IIFL Finance is in focus, where former RBI Deputy Governor Shri BP Kangaur joins board of IIFL Finance as an independent director, and as a Deputy Governor of the RBI from 2017 to 2021. Kangaur was a member of the Monetary Policy Committee and played a key role in shaping India's modern monetary and regulatory landscape. So back of this, stock is holding a gain of more than 1%.
Okay, so the stock is sitting with gains of over 1%, but Mascow Doc, Sachin, tell us, where do you see the stock headed from the current level?
So if we see the technical picture, so after a steep correction of approximately 20% from its 52-week high, 3,775 down to 3,077. Yesterday, finally, the stock took support at lower Bollinger Band as well as on the 50 days of exponential moving averages. And now today it is showing a sign of potential reversal. And overall, if we see the broader picture of the charts, like on the weekly as well as monthly charts, so the overall trend remain intact, and it is still into the bullish side. So I'm expecting now this potential sign of reversal could be the upside, could continue the upside momentum. On the higher side, 3,600, 3,800 could be the next levels that stock can test.
All right, those are the levels to track for Mascow Doc. But moving on to another IT counter then, HCL Tech is also in focus today after announcing a strategic multi-year partnership with E.ON, one of Europe's largest energy companies. Now, as part of this deal, HCL Tech will become a key cloud partner for the company, setting up a new private cloud and managing cloud and network operations across global hyperscalers. Now, HCL Tech will also deploy its AI Force platform to drive hyper-automation, boost cloud maturity and accelerate E.ON's DevOps-led transformation. Now, this move strengthens HCL Tech's presence in the European market and also reinforces its capabilities in the large-scale digital infrastructure deals. The stock has been trading up about more than 0.5% in trade today.
Okay, so that's HCL Tech for you, and we also told you the fundamental reason as to why the stock is in focus today. But shifting focus to a gold financing company then, Manappuram Finance, the stock is down over 3% today. But Sachin, over the last 1 month, I was just going through the chart, it's up nearly 18%. Where do you see the stock headed from the current level?
Well, exactly. Overall, if we talk about last 2 to 3 weeks or even 4 weeks, the stock have been performing very well. But in the yesterday trading session on the daily chart, it has formed like a doji candlestick, which is a sign of indecisiveness and shows a sign of a weak momentum. Even on the higher side, it has also tested the upper Bollinger Band as a resistance zone, while RSI was on the elevated level, which is again showing a sign of negative momentum or a negative crossover. So based on that parameters, I'm expecting some downside momentum in the Manappuram for the coming days. On the lower side, 260, 255 could be the target.
Okay, so that's as far as Manappuram Finance is concerned, but let's also put the spotlight on NTPC then, and the board of directors will be meeting on the 21st of June to consider fundraising plans. The stock is in focus on the back of that, up nearly 0.5%. And we also have reports which suggest that board of directors could be considering 4,000 crores of fundraising. This, of course, is source-based and reports-based news. This has not been confirmed. But on the 21st of June, we will have final confirmation as to the amount that the board of directors will be considering for fundraise.
That's right. That's the latest coming in on NTPC. But moving on, coming to you, Rabinder, Biocon is the stock that you have picked out for us. What's the news flow like?
Whereas Biocon is in focus, where company has opened its QIP with a floor price of 340.2 per share, and company may at its discretion offer a discount of not more than 5% on the floor price for the issue, and company to raise a 4,500 crore. So back of this, Biocon is in focus, and the stock is trading around flat level. And if we look at the 1 month chart, then stock is up 5% in 1 month.
Okay, so that's Biocon for you. But Rabinder and Sachin, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and discussing all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. But before we wind down, on the latest edition of ET Now on the go, we caught up with VATech Wabag's CMD Rajiv Mittal on the key decisions which the company took early on to keep their balance sheets light. Stay tuned to this full conversation that will be coming up for you on ET Now.
Growth has always been our focus, and a lot of people have told me, Rajiv, slow down, consolidate. But maybe by nature, I'm a very competitive person. I'm a sports person, so I always like to win. So I have always chased growth. And when you have to chase growth, as you very rightly said, infrastructure business is a capital intensive business. A lot of people, because of their desire or greed, get into this in a wrong way. We took a very early on decision, almost at the start of the business, that will remain asset light business. Right. We will remain a cash positive business. We will have minimum or no debt on our balance sheet. And that principles, even after almost 25 years, we still maintain that. Growth is not to be questioned. Growth is what we are here for, but very disciplined growth. And disciplined growth is maintaining a working capital, no debts on the balance sheet or minimum debt, just the working capital, and being asset light. We don't invest in heavy assets. We would be having one of the lightest balance sheet in this industry.
Alright, that's all the time we have on this edition of the show, but don't go anywhere. Closing calls coming up on the other side.
Alright then,